Should we hit the wheel?
Right on. Let's do it.
Tell them about the wheel, Mr. Allen.
So the wheel of questions, if you have a question that you want to submit, we will vet it first, and then it goes up on the wheel. And then we'll, if it gets picked, give you a shout out, and then we'll also answer your question. If you have any questions for that wheel, you can either leave them on comments on YouTube, or you can email us at theweekenda2z@gmail.com.
Yep, absolutely. We'd love to hear from you, so just leave us a comment or shoot us an email.
Here we go, guys.
Yeah.
I've always see this little spin button. I can put that there. I can hit it and it spins, or I prefer the...
I like the, yeah. It reminds me of the giant wheel on like...
Oh, very apropos.
COVID vaccine. When available, will you take it or have a family member take it first?
And I want to say this comes from John Bailey.
Okay.
My cousin gave us this when he actually is in the Little Elm Fire Department. And I think this is one of the things that he's having to deal with right now. So, yeah.
Who wants to go first? Because my answer will be long.
Oh, go ahead.
All right.
Do you have to have... Okay, so is it like you have to take it, or your family member has to take it first? Or is it like we can both like sit back and watch everybody else take it and then decide?
I think we'll go with that one. I don't think it's going to be like either I take it or my wife takes it or something like that. We'll just take it as in... I think in the spirit of the question, it's more along the lines of, would you like to see what side effects or things are happening before you take it? I want to know the spirit of the question.
So me personally, I'll go first. I think we need to actually understand what COVID does long term. And I know it's going to be like 20 years before we learn everything about COVID. So with that being said, I'm not keen on being like, yeah, let's go ahead and take it right now. I definitely don't want to be part of the first round or the second. So yeah, I'm going to wait. Me personally, I'm going to wait. I'm also proud that the fact that I haven't got it yet.
Yeah, we're knocking us down one by one here on the podcast. I had it first. We got JT. Maybe we'll find out in the next week or two if he did. Did he test positive? Did he let us know?
He hasn't said yet.
Okay. He got tested yesterday. I don't know if he has his results yet back.
Gotcha. Well, we'll find out here shortly, and that'll be look to our next episode. For my family and myself, I do know that my wife will take a flu shot every once in a while along with the kids. I don't take flu shots. I have never taken a flu shot. My wife and the kids are not, they're not going to be taking not because I'm telling them they can't. They just are choosing not to take the vaccine for COVID. And I probably will not either, knowing that I've had COVID. I'm maybe good for 3 months, but after that, I dealt with it. It was, I know that some people get, seriously ill from it. Yeah, I'm just, it probably won't happen for me unless we're talking when I get in my late 60s, early 70s, and I probably need to take, those precautions. But until then, no, I don't think we're going to be taking it.
Okay. I will be taking it. As someone who has worked in healthcare and the pharmaceutical industry specifically for over 2 decades, with this one, I will take it. Normally with vaccines or medications and stuff that come out, I would be the first one to say, hey, don't, I don't think you need to be you don't want to be, it will be safer to take after it has been out in the world for a little while. The reason that I don't feel that way about this is because, one, you've had the world's leading scientists working on this now nonstop since all of this went out. Everybody at Pfizer, everybody, every pharmaceutical company was working on a vaccine at this point. So the best and their brightest work on this more than likely stopped progress on other things to get this done because of the issues that are going on in the world. Number two, although they have fast-tracked these vaccines, they didn't take out safety measures. Instead of sitting with the FDA for years and years and not getting looked at, they were looked at and scrutinized very heavily before being allowed to pass the FDA trials. Both, and that's not just with the FDA here in the US, that's health associations across the planet. So every major country, civilized country in the world, and some probably non-civilized countries, had their own requirements to go through, and it went through their vetting. So it's not just the US vetting, it's also UK vetting, EU vetting, all of those things. So this is probably one of the most scrutinized things. These vaccines are probably one of the most scrutinized medications that have ever come out in our history. The way to gain herd immunity is for 60 to 80% of the population to either have been infected and survived, or be vaccinated, or have been vaccinated.
A question on the herd immunity thing. Mm-hmm. So at first I was probably going, hey, yeah, let's all do the herd immunity, whatever I'm trying to say. A tongue twister for me. Use my words, Scott. But the flu doesn't work with herd
immunity.
There you go. It doesn't work. It changes each year, and so they make their best guess for the vaccination for that year, and hopefully it hits. If not, then better luck next year. So I don't have anything against taking vaccinations or anything like that. It's just I
have a feeling COVID is doing the same.
So the vaccine itself works a lot differently than any other vaccine. This is a new type of vaccine. It's the mRNA vaccine, and I've read up on it, and what it does is absolute genius. Quickly, it is. So they looked at COVID, they looked at the virus itself, and they looked for a weak spot on the virus, or what they can exploit and attack and use against the virus. What they found on the virus is there is a protein on the virus that is what allows the virus to enter the cells, because viruses cannot replicate on their own. They use host cells. It's a parasite, so they use a host cell to replicate itself and then spread throughout your body more. That's what it does. So they found this protein, and what the vaccine does, most vaccines give you a mild strain of the virus. So that's what the flu vaccine does. It gives you a weakened strain of the virus to let your immune system see it and then start attacking it. What this does is they found this protein that they want to exploit, so they can attack. So they want to teach your immune system to attack this protein. So what they did is they engineered this mRNA. So mRNA is memory RNA. So they inject that into you. Your body then produces that protein that is on the virus. Your white blood cells see that as a even though it's created by your body with this mRNA, they see that as a foreign entity, and your white blood cells go attack this asshole protein. As they're attacking this protein and they're learning to do this stuff, when you start feeling sick from the virus, that's your immune system building up and getting resistance, because your white blood cells will then learn to remember that this protein is not supposed to be in your body. Mm-hmm. So you're building that up. The mRNA will dissipate over time, so it's going to go out of your body. That's when the vaccine itself kind of wears off. So what your body now understands is that if it sees this protein on anything, and this protein is unique to COVID, it will then attack that protein. So that's where it comes from. So now when it sees that protein into your body on the virus itself, it will attack that protein, and it attacks that protein, making it so it will kill so when it attacks that protein, it surrounds the virus and takes the virus out of your body. The really cool thing is that if the virus mutates the protein itself to to get around whatever the vaccination does, more than likely it's so good at getting into cells and it uses that protein to do it, so it will manipulate that protein, and when it changes that protein, it will be harder for it to get into cells. It's an amazing engineering feat using your body to fight this thing off. So when you get the COVID vaccine, you're not getting a small dose of COVID. You are getting something completely different. But that's why once we have, the more people that get vaccinated, the faster we get back to normal. And that's the big thing. I've been sitting in my house.
Put my tinfoil hat on.
Yeah, I've been sitting in my house for 9 months, and I want to fucking go back out. And I'm not going to go back out until this thing looks like it's been beat. And it ain't beat yet.
So if I may put my spinfoil hat on.
Go for it.
Earlier, you had mentioned that, we have like these top pharmaceutical companies and doctors and engineers looking at this. Mm-hmm. It begs the question, why do we not have cures for some other diseases that are killing thousands, millions, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people? Now, I know that virus making all this stuff is very, very, very complex. Mm-hmm. So I'm not trying to diminish that and go, whoa, it's all the same. Why not? I understand that part, but that would be my question. Well, why is it still taking so long to?
I have a kind of a add-on question to that.
I mean, listen, Magical Johnson has the cure for AIDS. I will say that now. He's still alive. He's the healthiest AIDS patient I've ever seen. And to the point to where it's not even detectable in his body anymore. So you tell me what's going on. That's my conspiracy theory there. You tell me what's going on.
So my answer to that,
I want to add a little bit onto that question, because it's kind of the same question. I think the answer can follow. If this virus,
hey Scott, before you do that, can you take us out of this weird box that we're in over in the corner? There we go. Thank you.
If this virus was in a lab in Wuhan, how have they not? Or you're looking at it. Why is this in there? Why are you not working on a vaccine at that point? So I would have thought that they would have had a heads up or a head start on that anyway.
Okay. Let's hit Alan's questions first. You may have to remind me on your questions, Scott.
Yep.
So Alan, the reason I don't think that we have cures for all of these other diseases and things that are out in the world is there's a couple of answers to that. One is money. You take away the disease, you're not going to have any money. You're not going to have all that
stuff. Pfizer
so,
doesn't make any more money than the millions and billions of dollars they've already made.
So there's the money aspect of it. The other aspect of it is who's working on what project. So in a case like this with COVID, my assumption would be that they pulled off people that had been working on stuff for a very long time, other drugs and medications to do whatever it is that they were doing, and they put them all on this. And it's one of those things, you've worked on projects in engineering and software design and stuff like that. When everybody is focused on one thing, how much faster does the project go rather than when it's just two guys trying to get shit done?
Yeah.
So that's the other thing, is why did this come about so much faster than when other things have taken forever? Well, because they put everybody on it.
Sure.
Everybody in the company. What's our focus? Our focus is COVID-19, because if everybody dies, then there's nobody to give us any more money. So, that's what it is. And Scott, hit me with your
No, I think what you just said kind of fits to that. So you have a virus in Wuhan. You have Joe and Tim working on that one, whatever they're doing. But then when everything happens, everybody in the whole world is focusing on this one. So I think that's why I added to the question. I really believe that the answer kind of fit the question as well.
So I mean, that's the whole thing. Once you have everybody, I mean, and here's the thing. Once everybody gets together, and how many times, Alan, you and I, worked together for years. How many times would you bring someone into a room that wasn't a part of the project and they say one thing and a bunch of light bulbs go off on people's heads, and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
oh crap, yeah, let's go that way, and it moves everything forward. So that's where I think everything is with this. That's why I will be taking the vaccine. It's not a listen. I just think that the people that are behind this, that are doing these things, it's the best that we've ever been. And by the time it starts getting out for the public, people of our age, to get out there and take it, I think we will have seen whatever side effects and allergies and all of that stuff that has been seen, because you are now getting this out to millions of people that are on the front lines already. And if the people that are taking this are the doctors and the nurses, and they're the ones that are trusting the science behind it, we as normal citizens should trust the science as well, because if they all get screwed up, we're fucked anyway.
So as these viruses mutate, I would like my answer to mutate. If anybody starts to grow a tail or an extra appendage, I will take the vaccine. Sorry.
You want a tail?
Yeah. Dude, you don't understand how bad I want a tail.
Hopefully it comes out where you want the tail to come out, and not like in your armpit or something.
I'm good with the tail anywhere.
No, you'd be like Ahsoka.
There
You'd
we
have the head tails or whatever.
Okay.
Hey, Alan, I can use that extra appendage anywhere it comes out.
All right.
It's not a problem.
Wow.
Closing remarks.
Also,
All right.
no, hang on. I got one more.
Go for it.
So, Alan, you shared a video today of a robot that was dancing.
Oh yeah, the Boston Dynamics robots.
Uh-huh.
So if you can actually, you put AI in that, we're coming to an end. And then I wonder, is the lab in Wuhan AI? Is there AI somewhere in the security that might have let the virus out to get rid of us as human people? And just kind of this was the process of that?
No.
No?
No, listen, as far as the first thing that we have to do is get past the whole uncanny valley thing. So robots won't take over until they can pass as with some sort of sentience, and we're very far off from that. The stuff that Boston Dynamics is doing. But all of that is programmed. It can't just, you can't just put on a track and it's going to start dancing. It's all of that's programming. All of that's putting that stuff in there. So
how do
we
know AI
is
is
it
not
weird?
programming it? I'm just saying.
Because it would have taken us out way earlier, and it would have done so with nuclear weapons, not a virus.
See, that's how a human thinks. Okay, that's how a human thinks. AI, seriously, they are growing exponentially in their knowledge. So they're thinking a little bit outside the box or inside the electronics. Just kidding. So closing comments. I'm sorry.
I liked it. It was good. Take us out, brother.